Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to Jason's General Store. Today we're doing a review of our draft day 2, draft 1 from the Arena Open. It was Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle-earth. And I didn't do any audio recording of the draft, so I'm just going to do a post-draft review of the experience. It should be interesting. I get to see my side of my own play and my own decisions in the draft, so it should be fun to just kind of go over things and see where we went wrong or where we went right, and had a lot of fun. I really like the Arena Opens. I would recommend that Wizards do them all the time, or not all the time, but more frequently than they do. They do it about once a set, but I think they're the top heavy prizing is pretty exciting. Anyway, here we are. Pick one, pack one, pick one. And we open a Moria Marauder, which is a really good rare. As well as a Foray of Orcs would be another pick in contention here. The rest of the pack is okay. Errand, Rider of Gondor is pretty good. Horses of Brunin is decent if you're in that deck. Green is essentially unplayable in Lord of the Rings unless you get all the pieces of the puzzle, especially the Scry deck. So I think it's between the Moria Marauder and the Foray of Orcs. And I think ultimately I landed on the Foray because it just left us more open going into pick 2. So we take the Foray. And then another interesting pick here. Probably want to stay in red because we picked the Foray. I keep calling it Foray. But yeah, we picked the Foray of Orcs, pick one. So we're going to stay in red. We got some good picks. We got Rally, Smite, Yomer of the Riddlemark. Yomer's a really, really good card. But so is Smite the Deathless. It's like one of the best removal spells in the set. So this was a pretty hard pick, pack 2. Or pick 2, I mean. And it's definitely awkward to pass either of these picks to our left. But here we just opt for the Smite because well, it's just such a good removal spell. Alright, pick 3, kind of awkward, not a lot that interests me. Dundane Rangers is okay, Nasty Ends, solid, Mortar Trebuchet is good if you're in black-red, but we don't even know if we're there at the moment. We're kind of leading that direction with the Foray, but the Foray, and then we have the Elephant, also really good. Can Mountain Cycle, get you the land you need for the late game. So I think it makes sense just to stay red here. I really like Shadow Summoning too. I think the card is super, super good, but not a good pick after our first 2 picks here. So take the Oliphant. And voila, we get the Mauher. Pick 4. Decent sign that red-black is open. I think if you're in red-black, that's a card you're going to want to pick up pretty early. So slam pick that. All right, pack 1, pick 5. Frodo is really good. Again, we're not going to go that direction. We're definitely leaning black-red at this point. So Haunt is a solid pickup. I think Breaking of the Fellowship is just like an okay removal spell. It's not like a high priority pick. And then we also had Treason of Isengard or Surrounded by Orcs. Orcs would be like definitely a potential pickup here. But I think after the Mauher Uruk High Captain, we just got to take the Haunt of the Dead because Haunt of the Dead is quite good in the black-red deck. There's some sacrifice synergies and ways to bring it back and whatnot. So pretty easy pick there. Ugluk. I guess had we taken this surrounded by orcs, we could have went isolation of Orthonk. But Ugluk is a solid pick, and I think if we didn't take the haunt, we would have been disappointed that we didn't take... Or sorry, if we took the surrounded by orcs, we would have been disappointed that we didn't take the haunt. But we take the Ugluk here because it's a pretty good card. Nothing like super special, but definitely worth playing in red-black if you have it. Alright. Pack 1, pick 7. Got a gore bag. Completely fine 2-drop. And then we have a troll. This was an interesting pick for me. I really wasn't sure where I wanted to go here. But I think I landed on the gore bag because the gore bag is just a 2-drop with some upside, it being an orc that can potentially draw a card or whatever. But troll is also super solid, so... Yeah, we just went for the 2-drop here. It does synergize with Mauer and Ugluk, so. Alright. Nothing really going on here for us. Likewise, not a lot on the wheel. Kind of expected if you're in red-black, like it's the two best. It's like the best color pair in the set, so day 2 of the Arena Open, I'm not surprised that we're not seeing a lot on the wheel. So ultimately we just kind of take whatever. Nothing really matters here. I mean, there is some consideration about like going into a second color, but or going into a third color, or just like jumping ship on the initial color. Surrounded by orcs on the wheel. Take the Great Hall. It's like a decent playable if you have enough legendaries. Wizard Rockets, fine. Again, nothing really we want there. And a bunch of nothing going into pack 2. Boom. Alright, we got some decent playables here. Lobelia is okay. It does have the clause of like, if you want to make the treasures, the creature had to die that turn. Makes it kind of a weak, not a weak rare, but Nazgul is just really good and probably a better pick here. Nazgul is just a solid card. It just does a lot of work in this format. You could also argue for Smite the Deathless here, I think, but we have the 1, we have the 4A, and we don't have any 3-drops, so we just opt for the Nazgul here. And very nice, get past the Sauron. So we know the guy on our left is not in black, because that's a slam pick. Very good rare to get going into the Arena Open Day 2. pretty crazy we had it on day 1 as well. Creebane. Another shadow summoning. This may be a world where we could have been white-black. What? Actually, don't remember getting past too many white cards. I've seen a few Theodens as well. Just as a note. A mental note. Quarrel's End here is probably the pick. Morgul Knife's just fine. It's really not a great removal spell, but it's okay. Alright. Pick a 5. We got a choice between a Nasty End and a Battle Scar. The rest of the pack is not even that great. Baggins is okay. Glorious Gale is fine. I think the Rare is fine. But really not something I'm that interested in picking up in general. It's triple green. So we just go for the Battle Scarred Goblin. It's another thing that synergizes with our Mauer and our Oogluck. There's another Theoden. I think we've seen 3, if not 4 now. Berserker's good. Whew, got the yawns. Berserker or Lancer here, really. Alright, this pack just sucks. Alright, we could just take a Breaking of the Fellowship now. Theoden on the wheel, so no one's in white-red. We're a little light on non-creature spells as well. Let's take the Banish. Gamely's Axe. I think it's a bit of a flavor fail that it's so expensive. Alright, bunch of nothing. Okay, couple picks here. We got Foray of Orcs, Bitter Downfall, Grishnak. Kind of an interesting pick. Right now we have no removal for the Grishnak. There's always the possibility we pick up the black sacrifice spell, but I think Bitter Downfall is obviously just a premium removal spell, so we just take that slam pick. Call it a day. We also don't have that much amass for the 4A, even though it's a really good card. Grima, Wormtongue, or Lash here. Had we taken the Grishnak, the Grima would be a lot better here. I guess the Lash also plays well with the Grishnak. But I still don't think there's a world where we don't take the Bitter Downfall. Oh, so I didn't even see the Smite. But yeah, I guess Smite's the best pick there. Torment of Golem. Card plays out way better in this format than that type of effect usually does in best of 1 or best of 3. And I think those types of effects are even better in best of 3 sealed, because we know a lot of people have high powered cards. I might as well just take another Snarling Wolf here. Really late Arwen, which is just like a really good white green spell. Like that, if you pack one, pick one Arwen, like it's totally a build around rare. Opt for the Flamesmith here, just to get some more 2-drops. Take the rest of the room. Patrol's really good in this deck. Looking back, I'm wondering if we should have taken the Grishnak. But I don't know. It's really hard to beat like just a straight removal spell like Bitter Downfall. Like there's just not really any instance where you pass that card and you're in black. Alright, we got ourselves an Improvised Club. Nice little spell to finish off games. I found that I can just ping people to face a lot with it, this format. And that's pretty much it. I think the good cards pretty much just dry up here at this point. I kind of recall wheeling the War Beast. I think that's the next pick here. This is a decent wheel for our deck. Yep, there it is. Okay. I thought I remembered that. And this deck looks very, very similar to our deck from day one, which was interesting. "16 creatures, 9 spells. Not a lot we have to cut here. So we cut the cut that spell because it's just one on the weaker end, and then I think we just cut a land and we're good to go. We have the Oliphant to get us more, and then we screenshot the deck. So I'll see you in game 1. It's day 2, match 1. It's a best of 3 day 2, single elim. So we open up a pretty good hand. Got a turn 3 play, turn 4 play with Creepbane, which is super solid, and then Bitter Downfall, also quite solid. They play a mirror, and they're blue-black, dropping this Dunlin Creepbane of their own. So, pretty clear what we're going to follow up with. I think the audio is too loud, I suppose. And we go Creepbane of our own. They punch in on us. And what do? Pretty sure we just go block, block. They can make a 1/1 with their Bear-Red-Der. If we block. Oh, we opt not to block. Okay. Now they're curving out pretty well against us here. Game 1. So they can pump up their knight with the mirror if they draw a card. And if they end up picking up another land, they can do that next turn. Some of these turns take a little longer than normal because we did some deep dive into, or I did some deep diving into the plays, and just trying to optimize what we're doing because we're playing for money after all. Get him for 3. Gothmog. So here we got a couple options. We can run out our Flamesmith, hold up Bitter Downfall, and or rush the room. We can play Quarrel's End, hold up Rush the Room, Bitter Downfall. We could just straight up kill their Gothmog. So run out of land, run out the Flamesmith, and okay, we go for the discard, draw 2. Pretty good draw. Interesting, they swing all. And then they can amass for 2 with the Bear-Red-Der. if we trade off with any of their creatures. Might as well just try to go for the big trade. Obviously we don't want to keep eating damage here, so this makes sense. They may or may not have a trick of some kind. Indestructible, not great. And then they can make a 1/1 as well. Or draw a card. They opt not to draw a card. We pass the turn, and then we can Bitter Downfall, Improvise Club, or Rush the Room in response to anything they do. So they swing in, we block the Gothmog, play Rush the Room, and if they have a kill spell, we'll just sack it to Improvise Club. So that's a pretty good time just to run out the Improvised Club, I think. Or Bitter Downfall. We actually want to let this trigger go on the stack. Turns that into a 5/5. And now we hit theirs. What do? They make a 1/1. Ooh, Sauron. Sauron changes our strategy here a little bit, I think. I think we just want to run the Sauron. Probably take 4. Slap that down. Say go. They're going to swing in for at least 1. Oof. Not great. We go down to 5 off their kill spell. Berserker's pretty decent here. They swing both. Then they can amass for 3 if we trade everything. So imagine the plan here was just trade that off. Let them amass for 3. Next turn we can improvise club and kill their 4/4. That puts us at parity. Obviously we're down a bunch of life, but we're kind of on the ropes here, so gotta do what we can do. Another option here is we just run out the Snarling Wolf. We can block the 3/4. But I guess yeah, we just end up killing the 3/3, which I think is fine, as long as they don't have like. No, there's not even a counter spell that could counter this right now. Draw a card, play a land, draw a card. All right. They hit us with that glorious gale. All right. Gonna go ahead and draw a card again. And they drop Grand, okay. Grand, land, say go. We'll slap down our Menace Wolf. Hope they don't draw a creature. Pretty good sign, they're scrying. Scry draw. Alright, we can start chipping away for damage here. Get him for 3. Player Trebuchet as a blocker. And we got them on a little bit of a clock. But, I mean, one creature with power 3 or greater is gonna cause us some issues. Alright, well that does kill all of our creatures. So, not great. And then Saga 3 actually just wins the game. So, RIP our creatures. And then we got a bunch of stuff in the grave, a lot of creatures in the grave, so that's just pretty much going to ping us for lethal. I think what happened was, yeah, we didn't take this game. They got him with the Grand. We slapped the concede button. Alright, well, not much for a sideboard here. Going into game 2. They're pretty, like, controlling. Mid-range control. But not much we can do about that because we don't have a sideboard anyway. It's always good to take note of just what people have played though. All right. On the play. Bit of an awkward hand. All we got is a Smite the Deathless and then 2 big creatures in our hand. It's not a fantastic keep. I can't remember if we opt a mulligan or not. I think we do, yeah. And this isn't much better, but we have a 3-drop. We have a blocker. We can get a land. And if I remember correctly, we decide to bottom a land here because the Oliphant's effectively the same thing. And then Sauron can just get it out of the grave later in game anyway. Yeah, so we're going to bottom our mountain. There it is. Awkward. Bit of an awkward draw. Say go. Slap down Trebuchet. And what do? They hit us with a Glorious Gale? Stern Scolding. Such an annoying card in this format. There's their Barad-dur. And see what they got. They did have a Glorious Gale, as well as a Lash and a Grand, so they don't really have much going on. The counter would have been a pretty good one against us, but luckily we opted for the Torment of Golem instead. And I think we decided to take the Glorious Gale here because it's really the only thing that affects the board currently. And it is Glorious Gale. Alright, 2-2. They got a whole bunch of nothing. They're probably just going to run out Grand, which is fine for us. And if you remember from the beginning of the game, we put our Oliphant in the grave, which is good for us here because we can just run Sauron. Oh wait, no, they can kill something, so they're probably just going to kill the patrol here. And we run Sauron next turn to be able to start getting things out of the grave. Alright, swing for 2. That was a good sandbag. Play Sauron. Swing 2. No need to run the land really, just make them think we have stuff. Don't do it. Don't do it. Alright. They play Easterling Vanguard. And really all we gotta do is... I guess we can swing everything. But I was gonna say, all we gotta do is just swing in with the 4-4, really. But I guess either way they can block with the Vanguard, so I think we swing everything and then we bring up the Trebuchet because it does come in attacking. Alright, there it is. Good use of our little 1/4 defender. Drop that down, get him for the extra 3. And then they amass for 1, making that a 2/2. And let's just run out our whole board here. Grand is online. Oh yeah, that's right. Grand's online because they have the 2/2, so they can swing in with it if they want. I don't know if that's going to be enough for them. Pretty sure we just get him for lethal next turn. Yeah, it looks like it. All right. Let's go into match 3. Opt not to sideboard. Alright, they run with their Barad-dûr. And we know they got the counter spell. Not that it matters this turn, because we don't got anything to do. Kree-Bane. Kree-Bane. What do they do here? They're thinking hard about this one. And if we block just the Kree-Bane, they can amass extra. They can amass for 1 and then make their 2/2 a 3/3. Oh, they opt not to swing. Okay. So we're just gonna torment here. What do they got? Troll, Soothing, and Birthday Escape. I think might as well get that troll out of the way. We can pretty happily punch him for damage here. They're going to mass 1 to 3. And they don't got a lot going on over there on their side of the battlefield. Gives us a pretty clear lane to just punch in. Grandy boy. Sure. So basically, like, If we just kill their 3/3, they got nothing going on. Hence the problem with with artifacts, I'd say. But alternatively, we could play our Mauer and our Uruk-hai and then swing for 4, and then we're going to take 8 on the swing back. Alright, in for 4. And we do go for the kill. Okay. I think that's a wise decision. Now, like, if they don't have a creature, what do? Plus, they can't amass with the Barad-dur anymore. Unless, of course, they have a kill spell. And we know they have smoothing of Smeagol. So I think that influences our decision here. We run out the Berserker. Counter again. And then this. So I imagine they just bounce it on our end step. Just to make the most use out of their mana. Okay, no bounce. Nice. Snarling Wolf. Land. Ideally, we want them to bounce here. I think we're just taking a note. If we draw Improvised Club, we win the game. Or we're pretty close to it. Swing for 2 menace. Okay, they go for the crew. I don't think they realize that we have menace here. Or maybe they just wanted to ring temp their Grand. Seems weird though. Now we can play Patrol and Captain. But then at the same time, Oliphant does win us the game. Alright, that's game 1. Took him down. I'll see you in game 2. Okay, game 2 of the Arena Open. draft one. And we have a hand that we shouldn't keep. So we keep this second one, which is okay. Opponent mulligans to 2. Or to 5, not to 2. We can keep this one. I can't remember what we bought him. I'm going to imagine it's the... Yeah, the Flamesmith. Alright. So we need lands, but club's always nice to have. It's decent with Haunt of the Dead Marsh, because if we sack the Haunt of the Dead Marsh and play our Maher, then we can just bring it back with the Maher out, because it's legendary. They play Eastmark. Now Eastmark is a really good target, assuming that they're gonna attach. No blocks. And we hit him. Hit him with the club. Oh, I guess we didn't do it there. We just played our Berserker, which is fine as well. Can always block with the Berserker. It's not bad. I make that a 5-3, punch in, block with our 3-2. And they got one card in hand, so we're pretty happy about that. We can just wait till they try to equip. Probably makes more sense just to kill it now. But I think ultimately we do just wait. Oh, we let it die. Interesting. Alright, now we know the coast is clear, so we can bring in the Haunt, try to find a land off the top. Definitely don't want that. And we're not hitting our lands, which is not great. 3. Not sure why we didn't just club there. That's actually pretty good for us, though. They moved that. They would have done it anyway, though. Now we can 4A, if we get a land, kill their 2/2. We get a 3/3. We get the +1 counter off the captain. And they're just like so far behind. That's not bad. Equip. Bitter Downfall is a fantastic draw. Just what you'd want here. Kill that. Hit them for 2, get them for 5, bring them to 4. And if they don't draw a land or a creature, like, that's just game. But even if they get a creature, we're still chipping in for 2. And we drop 2. Run out our War Beast so they don't know we have the Sauron. And that's pretty much going to just end the game there. So I guess on the draw, the Breaking of the Fellowship might be a little bit better than Rush the Room. So I think we end up cutting the Rush the Room for the Breaking of the Fellowship. They have a fair amount of creatures and have a high chance of going a little bit on the wider side, so Breaking of the Fellowship is going to do good for us. Alright, up 1 game. Or up 1 match, game 2. With a pretty good hand on the draw. We don't need to cycle. Definitely don't need to cycle. Off that mountain on the top. And we can just run out our Gobby. Oof. Theed in turn 3 is not great. I get him for 4. Oof, they get double strike. Real bad for us. We just gotta let it through, take 8. And it's between the Ugluk and the Snarling Wolf. Snarling Wolf's a little bit better of a blocker. If they get double strike, we can at least kill their Protector of Gondor or Theoden if we want. But then at the same time, Ugluk, if something dies, grows to a pretty big creature. I just don't know how risky we can play here. I think we just go with the Snarling Wolf. 4/4. Oof. That's pretty bad. So what's our option here? We basically just have to double block the Theoden, I guess. Really, we don't want that to be alive. And they've curved out really well this game. Alright, double block. We're at 3. Definitely not where we want to be at. Drop our Sauron. At least we have some blockers here. If they kill Sauron though, it's just game. That's gonna do it. On to match 3. We're sweating. We're sweating here. Alright. Pretty good hand. Let's play out our menace creature. 1 for 1 them on the menace. That's fine. That's just a 2-drop that we don't mind seeing. I feel like their deck shouldn't have that card in it too. It must be a little unplayable if they're playing the Nimble Hobbit in a red-white deck. Card's basically unplayable. Boromir, that's a good target for a foray. No blocks. It's just a point of damage, who cares? Let's get in our own damage. It's definitely worth clearing the Warden off the battlefield. We can obviously sack it in response, but it's worth killing. It's a pretty good card. And it's a pretty average card, but in this format, but still. Alright. Got a handful of blockers now. I think it makes sense to land cycle and play our War Beast the following turn. Drop our Gore Bag this turn. Imagine that's what we do here. We don't want to use our removal on just a small creature. Alright. play the land, play the gore bag. Gore bag. Oof, there goes our big guy. All right. Swing for one in the air, get them down to 13, and play out our War Beast. Be as mana efficient as possible here. Eagles. I don't think they swing, or I don't think they should. Okay. And now we can kind of mess them up pretty bad with the Bitter Downfall if we want. We can also just play both the Bitter Downfall and the Snarling Wolf. All right. And the turn. They just scoop it up. That's game 2. And we'll see you in game 3. Okay, game 3. Bit of an awkward hand. But Nazgul's pretty good, Berserker's pretty good. Can also draw us cards. When we get the second ring tempt, so even though this isn't an ideal hand to keep, if we draw spells, we're looking pretty good. Such as the Torment of Golem, not bad. And what do? We run out the Berserker, I think. Although if we play the Nazgul, then the next turn we can ring tempt the Nazgul and start drawing cards, which isn't bad. It's also a blocker for the Flamesmith. I also don't mind taking the Torment of Golem next turn and just seeing what they got in their hand. Slowing things down a little bit. Oh, that's right. That's what happened. They turned 3 Bilbo at us. Just absolutely nasty. Take 2. I'm a little surprised we went for the Trebuchet there. I kind of like the Torment better that turn, but I think the reason we went for the trebuchet is so we could block the treasure token. It's hard to say if that was the right call. But now we don't even want to block, so that's pretty awkward. Turn 4, ring temp 3 with a fire inscription is not good. And we give them a treasure. Alright, we draw this Oogluk. Yeah, in retrospect, I think that Torment would have been the better play last turn. Smoothing of Smeagol is not good. It is not what we want them to have. That gives them ring temp 4. So what do we take? Do we take the Oliphant? That was a mistake. We should have took the ring tempter. That's a tough one because they could still play the Oliphant next turn too, so it's like just awkward, very awkward. But both like were just bad. We didn't want them to have either or. But ring temp 4 is so brutal, especially with the fire inscription too. I guess looking back, like if we let them keep the Oliphant, we could just play the Nazgul. Or we had the Nazgul, we could block with Death Touch, so yeah. Still, just like a terrible place to be. They're getting in for the 4 again. They just drew a whole bunch of cards, so they've seen like, 30-40% of their deck at this point. Kind of in a rock and a hard place. Alright. Drop the Nazi. And the Uruk. We can cycle here. Why do we put it there? I guess because we just wanted the block. Probably should have swung in. No, but they did have. Oh no, because they could have killed. They could have deceived and then just killed it anyway. That's why we didn't go for it. Could have just made it a 0-2, blocked with the Flamesmith. Okay, again, we're just taking 4. take 4. Fire Inscription, take another 2. Three actually. So they just have to cast 2 spells and we lose. A little Bilbo that could. I'm pretty sure that's game because they have Menace unblockable 2, 3. Yeah, it's just not looking good. It's not looking good at all. I think we've pretty much just accepted defeat here. We can kill the Bilbo, but what does that do for us? They draw a spell and it's just GG. There it is. Alright, on to match 2. So, realistically, we made 2 mistakes there. We should have bounced, or we should have gotten rid of the Ring the Temp card with Torment of Golem, but we also could have gotten their Fire Inscription a turn earlier. So, I don't know. It's hard to say how much that would have changed the outcome, but because their Bilbo is still like mashing us, but we would have taken less damage for sure. Okay, we are on the play. With an okay hand. Pretty good. We got all our colors, 3 drop, 4 drop. We draw 2 drop, obviously we're laughing. Land. Like an island cycle. Alright. Let's drop our Creebane here. Mass for 2. Bewitch. We noted that I noted that when this untaps, it automatically untaps. So there's a triggered ability that it automatically untaps at the beginning of your untap step. So that's pretty good with Ugluk. Like it's gonna automatically untap next turn. So we swing for 2, and then it untaps on our next upkeep and gives Ugluk 2 counters. They also are missing their mounted. There it is. So we knew they'd draw that. We knew that they were to draw that because they didn't play it in the earlier turns. Alright, so there we go. We get our counters. Draw a card. And we get an open 6. And run out our Gorgoroth. So we're looking good. We are in a good spot here. Ooh, that's pretty good. So we want to draw a land next turn if possible. They're going to start filtering their hand a bit. They're really good at getting the ring tempt on this deck. Not bad. But yeah, bouncing our 2 big creatures is pretty bad. Take us down to 16. And yeah, now we can, well, do a couple things. I think we probably go for the, maybe even the Snarling Wolf and just smite the Deathless there, 4/3. Or do we just go War Beast? Yep. Alright. I know they have another bounce effect, so hopefully they don't use that on us. Saruman. So we can offer the trade here. Play out our Uglok, offer the trade. They may or may not take it. But they're kind of in a position where they need to block. Yep. I think we should just pass here. They probably have the -3 spell. Yep. Yeah, mass, and then say go. Old Bilbo. Sure. Draw, discard. We'd take an additional 3 if we let this through. So we'd go to 8. Alright, so we can apply some pressure back. Can also hold back our Creebane if we want to block their 1/1. If we play our Berserker ahead of time, we can give the 2/2 Ring Tempting, which would make it so they can't block with the Saruman. We could also run out our Gorbag as an additional blocker. Boom, get him with those. Okay, we try to take down their Bilbo here. Sure. So Saruman's dead, Bilbo's dead. And we got pretty good board. Sizable board, we can block with the Creebane. Kill the Creebane. So we're on a 2-turn clock at this point. If they swing in, put a blocker up, we're not in a great place. Bottoming Bewitched. Oh, and then they just sack it to Vice Club. Very nice. So that was it. They got us. 2-0. Alright, last game in draft 1 of day 2 in the Arena Open. Hand's fine. Depending on if we draw a land or not. We could land cycle here. Obviously all we have is like removal really, but it's not a bad place to be. Your opening hand. Eowyn's super annoying. Can't smite the Deathless that, unfortunately. So we don't draw a creature. So we can literally do nothing on turn 3. Makes our hand feel so much more awkward. What do they do? Give this Vigilance. Swing for 2. They drop a Butterbur. And we didn't hold full control, so we couldn't kill this before it triggered. Unfortunately, they got a free food token. Alright, let's start developing our own board. We'll get the Snarling Wolf online. Eowyn. Lady of Rohan. Dum. Alright. I get to keep chipping it away. 4-6. Would have been 3-6 if we didn't give them that. Free food. So no blocks. It's definitely something to be considerate of looking back at the draft. You always gotta hold full control when you can, because Arena's not always your friend. What do? We just play 4A and get their Brandy Buck. Seems fine to me. Run out of Mountain, and we can hold a Brush the Room. And then trade with the Eowyn if we want to at some point. Or the Farmer. We can trade with the Farmer here. Block against the 2-3 and then first strike. Butterbur. What do? They give their Farmer Vigilance. Okay. Boom. Kind of wondering if we should have held back with the Snarling Warg there, but I guess chipping in for damage is important too. Alright, not a bad draw. Gorgoroth, Bitter Downfall. If we play the War Beast, we get to hold up the Bitter Downfall. Probably isn't a bad play here. All right. Shire. Ooh, that's bad. They sack a token. Killer Oliphant. Play a Frodo. Tempt. I got a huge board. They just curved out so well. They even had the Bombadil song, which they discarded. They just go for the 2. Which I suppose makes sense. Now we can play Captain and then hold back the Bitter Downfall, kill their Shire, and potentially kind of clean the slate a little bit. Clean the plate, clean the slate. If they have another Bombadil song, obviously that's going to be really bad. It's also pretty bad. Changes up the dynamic of our decision making a little bit, I think. It's like, what do we even do here? All I gotta do is swing with 2 creatures and there's nothing we can do really. So we kind of have to kill the flyer. So we should have done it before attacks. I guess. Yeah, that definitely was the case. Shouldn't have let them swing in here. We effectively gave them 3 free damage by letting the flyer live. We really are giving this some thought. Guess we're just realizing we messed up. So we didn't take it out after all. But we're just basically dead. Yeah, we needed to kill the flyer there. Pre-combat. Oopsie. What do? We just all in. I mean, they do have to block, right? Block there. Yeah, it doesn't matter. We're dead. What do we do for sideboard here? I think what happened was we put in the Gimli's Fury so we could be a little bit more aggressive on the play there. Alright, not a fantastic hand. 5 lands again. Similar to our last game, just before this one. It's definitely not an exciting hand. And we keep it. Oof. Alright, we're drawing some stuff. That's good. Got a creature. Also not a bad draw. Ugh, you win again, turn 4. That sucks. Or turn 3, I mean. Not really what we want to see. Alright, let's say go. Butterbree. And they get their treasure again, or their food. Double smite the Deathless. Interesting. Ewan really puts in work. That 4 toughness is actually super handy in this format. Dodges a lot of removal. At least red removal. I don't know about the black removal in this format. Definitely doesn't dodge that, but... Alright. Haunt. Bottom that land. Definitely have swung both there. If I could go back, I probably would. See if they take the trade. I have so many cards. Okay. Make that a 3-4 or 4-6. 4-6 vigilance. What a bad draw. Surely we gotta offer the trade now. I mean, I guess they could have like the Pippin's Bravery, which would be bad. So I guess we just swing in the Snarling Wolf again. Trebuchet can be really awkward when you're behind. We just got like such a bad string of draws here. All these cards are kind of awkward and don't work together. Not bad. Pegrin's Took. It's fine. Vigilance. Oh, they gave it first strike. Okay. First strike, no swing. Interesting. We hit them. Hit their Pegrin's Took. Awkward. So I guess again we just go in with the Snarling Wolf, hope they double block, try to kill their Ewan with the foray. Drawing a swamp sucks. Okay, we just go all for some reason. Okay, they all for the double block. I guess that's partly why. Get them down to 6 off the Flamesmith trigger for a hit their Eowyn, which is causing us eons of trouble past the turn. Oh, they have the Samwise. They get the Eowyn back. Oh god, that's troublesome. That is troublesome. Alright, they run back to Eowyn. Don't love that. Hobbit our creature. And for 2. Creebane's good. So we play that out. Oh, they killed our Trebuchet. So we're not getting the 4 in the air anymore. Or the 2 in the air. So that kind of sucks. In for 4, they're going to double block. Take down their Eowyn. Say go. Of course, they just drop a 3/4 flyer against us. Gotta love that. I don't really know what we're contemplating. I don't think we block here. It's not a bad draw. Just run that out. We're just getting all our dirtily cards though. They've gotten such like just a bunch of good draws, and we're kind of just picking up things that are not synergistic or great. They fog our wolf. Great. And I just guess they just get in for 3+2. Potentially. They might just swing a single creature again, though. Okay, they go for the riskier play. I guess they do have they can gain the 3 life again, so they don't have to really worry about us. Ugh. We draw a swamp. Definitely not what we want to see there. I guess we could try to just like last. Yeah, that's the thing. Not even a swing is good because they just gained 3. So it's like we're pretty much just stuck doing nothing. If we swung in for 2, they took it, that would bring them to 7. Yeah, we're just in such a bad place. That's also super bad. They swing both. We're kind of forced to block in a sense. But we might not this turn. Rush the room, yeah. That's it. That is match 4, or game 4 of the Day 2 Arena Open. Definitely saw some things that we could have done differently in a couple of those losses, but all in all, we did have fun. I think the Arena Opens are super fun. The top heavy drafts are quite the experience. It would be really awesome to win any cash at all, but we didn't get there this time. Anyway, if you like what you watched and you want to see more content by me, always appreciate it if you smash the like, hit the comment, smash the like, or hit the sub. And we'll catch you later. Have a nice one. Cheers and bye.